Hey guys, welcome back to the Jay Sit Down Podcast. I'm your host Jaden. Today we're going to be talking about what the Los Angeles Chargers are doing because I have no idea what they're doing. They just arguably got rid of they got rid of arguably their two of their uh, greater offensive players in the team has seen in a while now. And Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. So we'll talk about that and just a few other around the league moves that happened over the last couple of days. I haven't made an episode in a couple of days, but so I'll go over just those little announcements, up to date things to keep you guys posted on that. Just letting you know about those moves if you hadn't heard about them already. And I'll just give my few takes on them before we get into the main gist of today's episode, which is again about the Los Angeles Chargers and in that specific situation. But before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. Of course, we're also on all audio podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff. So make sure you check us out there. But yeah, let's get started. So yeah, like I say, over the last couple of days, had a lot of other crazy moves happen. Of course, Falcons traded Desmond Ritter, one of their many failed experiments at the quarterback position. He just it wouldn't work. He was a 2022 rookie pick out of Cincinnati, and they started him for 13 games, and he threw 12 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, fumbled 9 times in his starting career in Atlanta. So just not very good for Desmond Ritter there. So the Falcons shipped him off to Arizona in exchange for Rondale Moore. So we got Rondale Moore back, wide receiver. He's had the last couple of years have been a little bit of a just iffy seasons for him, but he's a speedster. He can run. He can move. And I'm sure like working under Zach Robinson in that offense and with Kirk Cousins, he can see some boost in his targets and catches and things like that. So hopefully he can bring some much needed production to that Atlanta receiver room that now includes Darnell Mooney and Drake London, along with Kyle Pitts. So Falcons get a playmaker there. Other news, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers trading Kenny Pickett. So their rookie pick in 2022, they traded him to the Philadelphia Eagles. So across down in Pennsylvania to Philadelphia, or Pittsburgh to Philadelphia, for I believe it was see the exact trade details they pulled up for Kenny Pickett. But yeah, when I saw that, because this just happened recently, and I'm like, okay, uh, that's interesting because they signed Russ on a 1 year deal though. So I'm thinking like, okay, maybe they're gonna have Russ come in and be the starter for this year because the quarterback play was just so inconsistent last year with Kenny, and they want to have somebody who's a proven veteran come in and play for a year and see where they can take the team, make some other improvements around the roster, and see how far they can get them, see if they can go to the postseason and see how much success they have there, right? So that's what I'm thinking there. I'm still thinking that Kenny Pickett is a part of long-term plans in Pittsburgh, but apparently he wasn't because he was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. So we all know. So now Russell Wilson was going to be. We knew he was going to start, but now it's like officially confirmed he's going to be the starting quarterback for the Steelers. And Kenny Pickett, yeah, I mean, he was traded for a fourth round. He was traded to the Eagles along with a fourth round pick in exchange for a third round pick. And the Eagles' highest 2 7th-round draft picks, according to Ian Rappaport, NFL Network insider. So that is a steal for the Steelers. That's a steal for the Steelers because now they get that added draft capital for a guy who's probably not going to play any starting football for the rest of his career. That's what it's looking like right now, and it's crazy to say that because after just 2 years under his belt. It doesn't look like Kenny Pickett or Desmond Ritter will probably see much playing time unless the starters that they're backing up get hurt. Those being Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's just really weird to see how where the NFL is trending now. Like it's like this offseason been really crazy. All these moves. I mean, I'm gonna get to like I said the Chargers in a second, but like it's just this. I was talking to my friends like, bro, this offseason's been so weird. Like OBJ got cut from. OBJ got cut from the Ravens, and like we got Keenan Allen traded to the Bears. Like it's just like a whole bunch of stuff going on. Like this has been probably one of the more uh, like high octane off seasons that we've had probably since the 2022 off season, as far as all the movement going around, especially the quarterback movement. So it's been very interesting to note on that regard, and I just am like, wow, um, it's been really weird. A lot of these teams are gonna look different come September in opening weekend. So in 2024, that's one thing that we all know for sure. So just on that note, I'm like, dang. So yeah, so Kenny Pickett is no longer a Steeler. I think this move. I mean, to me, unless the Steelers are gonna pick a quarterback in the draft, maybe a Michael Penix guy or somebody like that. I mean, or trade for Justin Fields could still be on the table, even though reports are that his interest is really just it's down and down and down and down. Like there's not many teams really, if any, that are gauging much interest in him. So it seemed more and more likely that he could remain a backup in Chicago, which I don't see happening either. It's like you draft if they draft Caleb Williams for that number one pick, I just don't see them. I just really don't see them keeping Justin Fields right now, unless they ship off that pick. And so far, they haven't done it yet. So it's like I'm still thinking he's going to be on another team soon. I just don't know where that'll be because again, the Falcons got Kirk Cousins. The Steelers got Russell Wilson. Those were two main teams that everybody was linking him to. I mean, the Raiders got Gardner Minshew. And Aiden O'Connell, the rookie, who was a rookie last year, would be in his second year, so I'm sure he's going to be starting this year, or him and Minshew might compete for the job at training camp. But not really many QB needy teams out there. Like everybody's pretty much got their guy for the most part. So uh, the market out there for Justin Fields is not hot right now, and it's just I just don't know what's going to happen with him. So it'll be definitely interesting to see for sure what'll happen with Justin Fields and where he'll be playing in 2024. But moving on to the Los Angeles Chargers, like I mentioned, they trade Keenan Allen. They cut Mike Williams and they traded Keenan Allen. So they got rid of their two best receivers that they've had in like the last 5-6 years plus years since and they shipped them out. Like yeah, Mike Williams got cut and released. Keenan Allen got traded to the Bears for a fourth round pick. So I mean, decent value back for the Chargers. Even though I still don't quite get the move, doesn't make too much sense, especially after they got rid of Mike Williams. I'm thinking they're going to keep at least one of their top targets because you look at their roster right now, their main receiver now is Quentin Johnston, like out of TCU, who's a rookie. Was it last year he was a rookie? I think so. Yeah. So like yeah, and just doesn't make sense to me. Why? Like, yeah, I don't know why they did that. So I'm thinking they're going to take a receiver in the draft. That's what I'm thinking. They're going to take a receiver, maybe a Malik Neighbors or somebody like that, or a Romo Dunze type of player. That is who I picked. I believe that's where I picked him to go in my mock draft to the Chargers. It would make sense, with that. But then I'm thinking this is they're keeping Mike Williams and Keenan Allen at the same time too, or at least one of them. If because I know both of them were cap casualties on the Chargers, but um, I'm thinking they're still gonna keep one of them, especially Keenan Allen. You know what I mean? He when he's healthy, he's a top receiver. In the league, top 10 receiver definitely when he's healthy out there. I mean, you look at his stats from this past season. He so he finished. He had 108 receptions, 1,243 yards, 7 touchdowns. Solid year for him. He was healthy for the most part last year. They missed too much time, except the season in 2022, the season before he did miss some time, but he was healthy for a good chunk of the season last year. So now, um, and the word is that they approached him about a pay cut, but he declined that. So the team was like, okay, well, we're just going to trade him to Chicago, and the Bears just keep loading up, keep loading up. They keep loading up. They got DeAndre Swift. They got, of course, yeah, they got DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore, who came over last year in the offseason. And you add in Keenan Allen to that offense. Defensively, they made additions. So the Chicago continues to load up, and Chicago continues to have one of the more impressive off seasons by a lot of teams so far. And they're doing really good so far with what they're doing. I like what they're doing now. It's just a matter of the quarterback situation and how they're going to figure that out. But as far as Los Angeles is concerned, I'm just really confused, and I don't know what they were doing, why they traded Keenan Allen, why they cut Mike Williams. So I'm assuming that Justin Herbert, they're going to have to get him some help. They're going to have to draft. You're going to have to draft a receiver. You're going to have to because there's no receivers on the market. Now, a lot of people were saying they might go and trade for Justin Jefferson, which is like, okay, yeah, but if the cap casualties was the issue, then I don't see them trading for Jefferson, who would be maybe like a $35 million cap hit to them, something like that. And so that would kind of be contradicting the reason that got rid of Mike Williams and Keenan. So it's like, I don't see them trading for Justin Jefferson. That just doesn't seem likely. Um, so I have no idea what's going on in LA, but it's interesting for sure. So we'll see what happens. But I think for overall, I think for LA, you know, get some decent draft capital back. I mean, like I said, as long as they continue to, they're in a position right now where they need to make the playoffs. They got to make the playoffs either next year, this year, next year. Like they got to. Jim Harbaugh's a new coach in there, and everything like that. So I understand that, but like Justin Herbert is not getting any younger, and while he's in his prime year so far, like they have to, like they gotta win. They got to get to the playoffs. They gotta win, even if it's not Super Bowl. They got to get there. They gotta win, and they just haven't done that yet. And so it's just because it's just been bad coaching. It's been bad personnel, decision making in the front office. And so they kind of fix that this offseason, bring in Jim Harbaugh to be the head coach. Like they're like, okay, we know which direction we want this roster to go in. Is it the right direction? I don't know. All I know for sure is they got to get Herbert some weapons because you can't have him roll out there with Josh Palmer and Quinn Johnson. That's not going to get the job done. And Austin Eckler is gone. He left. So he's no longer a member of that team. So your running back situation, how are you going to solve that, right? So it's a lot of questions going for LA right now heading into the draft and everything for the Chargers. So I'm interested to see how they handle all of these different situations. And it'll be really intriguing to see who they add to that offensive who they add to the offensive side of football to help out Justin Herbert, because they're going to need to bring in some help for him. So other news, Aaron Donald retired today. So the 10-time Pro Bowler every year of his career, Super Bowl champion, All-Pro player every year of his career, first ballot Hall of Famer. So he retired. So yeah, the NFL is looking a whole lot different now without him. It's going to be looking a whole lot different without him. A lot of quarterbacks are happy that he's no longer playing. I know the offensive linemen are probably happy too. They had to block him for 4 quarters a game. So, but yeah, Aaron Donald, man, this amazing career. Best wishes to him outside of in his life outside of football, and he's going to continue to do great things. And I just happy for him because he had a great career. But yeah, I mean, like I said, that pretty much is gonna wrap us up for today's episode, guys. Not too long. Just wanted to come on and talk about the Chargers and their moves that they were making. Those 2 moves in particular, I still am not quite understanding why. But what do I know? So we'll see. Something to keep an eye on as we move closer and closer to the draft and throughout the offseason here, how they're going to handle that situation at the receiver position. So thank you guys for tuning in today, watching us on YouTube or however you're listening on the audio platforms. Make sure you just subscribe us, hit that button in the right corner of your screen, hit that like button, share with your friends, family, and fellow football enthusiasts. Also, guys, please check out my book, The Soldier and the Soldier Retribution, which I'm going to link in the description below. And make sure you guys do that. And we will see you next time on Jay's Fifth Down. Have a great day.